Hello everyone. So then, because of the Man the Guns expansion release, we are doing something a little bit special. I got some guys together and we are going to do kind of a podcast talking about Man the Guns, talking about Paradox in general and all the things that have been happening with them. So I am Penkitten 82 and here are the other people who are with me. First we have Aldrahill. Introduce yourself.
Hello.
Hello. We have Conquering History Games.
Hello, glad to be here.
And we have Doonhamer Gaming.
Catchphrase.
Hello.
Yeah. So we're all here. We're all excited. And for clarity, we have all received early press release passes to Man the Guns and to the preview build of the Ironclad free update that goes with it. We've been able to do our playing. We've been able to do some episodes already. So we already have a decent understanding of how Man the Guns has been going, and so we're going to give our thoughts on that. So now everybody, for context, it's going to be releasing today when this video goes live, February the 28th. It's going to release it for $20 pounds, and it'll be the fourth major DLC release for Hearts of Iron 4. Its theme is the Naval Overhaul, and has focuses for the US, the UK, the Netherlands, and Mexico. Now, everyone here knows this has been a long time coming. It's been nearly a year, a week away for an entire year since the last DLC dropped. Because the last DLC, Waking the Tiger, dropped on the 8th of March, 2018. So, everyone here is going to be asking, is this DLC worth the price? And was it worth the wait? What do you guys think?
Well, I guess you first have to define what makes something worth the price. For example, as a general rule of thumb, ask myself, am I going to get at least 1 hour out of every dollar I spend?
All right.
That's an interesting way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Kind of favors strategy games.
Looked at it that way.
Yeah, it does favor 1,000
we're all strategy
hour
games.
games.
The
GK hours in EU4. Yeah, I think...
Yeah, that might be worth the price. Would you like me to go over some of the features that are in specifically the DLC as opposed to the free update?
It's a good idea because I'll be honest, I don't remember.
Yeah. So,
I kind of look at it as one big thing.
Yeah, because it was pretty much designed as one big thing. So let's go over what everyone's going to be getting this morning anyway. So the free update is going to include the new fuel system. It's going to include the new naval terrains for all the naval tiles. It's going to have the new naval combat system instead of the old naval combat system. And it's going to include the new task force system. So instead of a single admiral controlling a single navy that does a single task, you have the whole task force that goes around to multiple navies and spreads out into different tasks at once. So those are all being thrown into the free update, while the paid-for Man the Guns is going to have the revamped American and British focus trees. It's going to have the Dutch and Mexican focus trees. It's going to have the ship designer, as well as ship refitting. It's going to have naval mines. It's going to have the upgradable admiral skills and traits. It's going to have the naval treaties system, amphibious land vehicles, the Government-in-exile system, and shipping route controls. Those are the stated features that are specific to the paid DLC.
So which one should we talk about first?
Well, we should probably just talk about all of it, but mainly Man the Guns, I would say. Things like, what have your experiences been with the different trees? Because I've been playing Monarchist UK, Fascist America going for Civil War, and Communist Mexico. Those are when I've been playing.
I, too, have been playing pretty much that. So I've been dithering with trying to decide between what to do with Mexico. I love all the history. It's the one thing I always go for. So it's nice that you don't have to get Kaiserreich or Führerreich to go crazy stuff. So this is cool. But if I can, marry Simpson and tell everyone to bugger off and just let me kill things, I like it.
Yeah, I've also tried a few of I've tried at least one trees. I like them to varying degrees, but if I had to say a way to describe how I feel about all of them combined, this really feels like it's turned the game a little bit more into a Kaiserreich.
It's just Kaiserreich almost, isn't it?
Well, it's much more sandboxy, because one of the things that I've never really liked about vanilla is that it can feel way too linear at times, but I could definitely say that all 4 of the games that I've played so far have been radically different on a global scale.
Yeah.
And
well, they've added the customizer as well.
Oh yeah, I was just about to mention that. So
is that DLC?
I believe that is going to be in the base game in the new update, because it would be nice. It's rules. It's the new game rules customizer, so I doubt it would be a paid feature, because it applies to things that are outside of the DLC itself. Because in my games that I've been playing, I've been messing around with the customizer. One of my games, I've had every nation with a focus tree set to random. My Monarchist UK game, I have set any nation that can go monarchist, I've set them to go monarchist so I could have allies. So it's monarchist England off with the Kaiser, who has returned to Germany, on with Otto von Habsburg, who's in Austria-Hungary now, and we're all together in the Central Powers, and it's a lot of fun. And I've set everyone to go do different things. So we got the French Entente, we got Mexico's in the middle of a civil war. America, I think, is going to go communist at some point, but it takes them a while. I agree with your point that it does feel so much more like a sandbox now.
Yes, although I want to make a quick point though about the DLC features. Most of these, I definitely understand why these are paid features. For example, the alternate American history, alternate British history. Yeah. They've done that before, like when they redid Germany's focus tree. They made a big misstep by having the shipping route controls be DLC.
Yeah, because that was
a frustrating part of the game sometimes.
Yeah, there's always that one feature that you wish was free. For me, it was Together for Victory. They put the breakthrough feature into the paid DLC, even though there's only 2 movement options in the AI focus, and they put one behind a paywall.
So the locking of the ship designs does seem like a screwy. It's just the inability to really take hold of the new features, especially because it's man the guns, or just the whole game is changing in general, you know?
So are you saying that it's been a difficult transition into figuring out how to do the naval stuff?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you, cut out.
I think Doonhamer also is getting cut out because I'm sometimes seeing his bubble pop up, but I don't hear him.
Okay.
Are you telling me you all didn't invest in Blue Yetis? Come on, guys.
I have a Blue Yeti. What are you talking about?
It's a standard, isn't it? The glorious standard.
Yeah. There's a lot that are better, but this one's cheap.
It's cheap. It's reliable. This is flown to Australia. I've carried it in backpacks. I've dropped it innumerable times. Still good.
Yeah. So what were you saying about the new ship designer?
So, because I just feel like, I don't know, there's some of this, because the Navy in general, the Navy in Hearts of Iron 4 has never not been terrible. The naval design of Ahoy in general, I found, is easily the worst part. Yes. It's just and based on individual patches, like, oh, we're going to build light cruisers, or oh, battleships, and it's just do that and then win. And the frustration of hoping to do a naval invasion, but do you have enough ships? And I do, but I don't. I kind of just wish this was at least some of it, like with the ship design elements being locked behind the DLC wall. I feel like, I don't know. I'm happy with the alternate paths being behind DLC walls and things like admiral traits and Government-in-exiles, but the ship design I feel should be free.
Well, the ship design is kind of a upgrade to the current system, because a lot of the problems that were in the base game when it comes to naval throughout its 2-year-long history now is, one, the controls feel wonky. It never really felt all that good to be leading your navies. There wasn't really a lot of map presence for your navy, so you're not sure where they were or what they were doing at any given time. The balancing was completely destroyed because Aldrahill, I know that you know the channel Raymond's Paradox, and that was the channel that broke it open for me, because they made a video about Navy and they just discovered just build battleships and carriers, and that's all you have to do. You'll win every fight. And
I ended up playing with like Tommy K and Feedback. And I thought it was going to be a nice, fun, easy game. No, they're meta boys.
Oh, no.
They're like, what are you doing? You need to have exactly this every single time. And I realized, oh, no, I know nothing. I don't understand this meta.
Yeah. Oh, no, the terrible meta. So scary.
I just never thought a Paradox game would have a meta, but here we are.
Never underestimate the min-maxers when it comes to that. What I'm glad is that the free feature, because I was actually worrying before I looked into what came with the free update, I was worrying that naval combat and the task force were going to be held behind the paywall, but those come free. So you're going to have more.
That would be fundamental. Like, that's just basic code. Imagine if you just stuck to the old system.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Yeah, so a lot of the problems that come from the old system, like the inability to see what your units are doing, the feeling that your Navy isn't doing enough, those may or may not be fixed. We're going to have to see how this patch really works in the long term. But I think that Man the Guns and the Ironclad DLC, they do a lot to help that, because I felt slightly more in control with the Navy. I felt... especially when I had the DLC, I felt like I could actually build ships with a purpose instead of just, well, I need some more ships, so I guess I'll get the next, I guess I'll build some more carriers, or I'll build some more battleships.
And of course, the fuel is a big part of this now too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which I know is a free feature, but it does change up the game. Not radically. I don't think it makes the game too complex. I think beginners are still going to be able to, but
especially if you play,
it does add another layer of depth to the game, which I think should be there.
Yeah, 100%. When at Paradox Con, when they announced that there was going to be fuel in the DLC, like the room was just like fuel.
Yes, God.
I don't understand. It was like the press room thing, and it was like, we're pretty somber, all sitting there, and then like, now I'm going to tell you something that's going to break your minds. This DLC, little clap. There's going to be fuel. Chairs flying.
You know what though? I'm imagining if there was a German Weiru or Weimaru, whatever they're called, doing that Homer Simpson thing where he's leaving Moe's. He's like, "You just lost yourself a customer," while everyone's waving money.
Yeah, the fuel. My biggest experience with that so far has been playing as United Kingdom, because if you launch all of your navies at once, day one, you are just out of fuel all at once. You cannot run your whole navy at once with the UK.
Yeah, it's cool to actually try and manage it and figure it out. Oh, on oil, and fuel rather. One thing I really like is the resource. What's the word for it? Resource borrowing, like with Mexico.
Oh yeah, I hope that
that's really cool.
I hope that they expand that, because it would make sense for like the OPEC countries and Iraq, Iran, Arabia, all those countries. I believe that they had a lot of treaties around World War II time that they had a bunch of foreign companies taking all the oil from their nations, because it wasn't direct imperialism, but it was economic imperialism for those countries. So it makes sense if the UK could get a little bit of a buff to get oil from those countries. But I don't think that is a feature yet. I don't think that's in there yet.
Well, I think it's going to be something. A lot of the ideas they have in here, I think they're going to launch off of. So, for example, that could lead into something with the United Kingdom intervening in Iran, like they did historically. Also, the congressional mechanic that's in the United States. Of course, modders are going to have a blast with that, but I think that could maybe be incorporated into France. And it's dealing with communism, the British Parliament, different things like that.
Yeah, surprising that they didn't have the Congress feature put into Parliament, because I mean they were working on the UK. Yeah, it could have been something that leads to the different prime ministers that you could potentially have in charge, and you'd have different ministers have different bonuses. So you might want to between parties or even a minister within the same party to get a certain bonus. Yeah,
I think it'd be too I think it's a whole different system than the Congress one, though. Like, I think the way the Congress system works, it only would work for the U.S. Congress. Yeah, I don't think it would work for Parliament. Yeah, because UK has they got the weird system. They got both the House of Commons and the House of Lords. House of Lords. Yeah, we're weird. we're weird guys. Oh, that technical monarchy. Technical monarchy. That's a nice term. I like that. Quote unquote.
The Queen's still there. She's still technically powerful. She just can't use it.
Yeah. She let her opinion known on Brexit. She gave a thumbs up and then turned away.
And then like, I'm not dealing with this.
Yeah.
All right, so back.
Well, speaking of, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I was just trying to get us back on track.
Oh well, that's what I was going to bring up the other ways of influencing. So something I noticed with the American and the British focuses is how both of them you can flirt with a little bit. So, for example, I think Doonhamer's trying to.
Yeah, he's desperately trying to get in the chat again. I'm not sure. We heard him for a second. I don't know what's going on.
I can hear him. Yeah.
Oh, you can hear him.
Yeah,
I can't hear him.
Right.
He's cluttering around.
Right.
He's
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
I can hear you.
Oh, good. Oh.
There he is. He just kind of sounded a little echoey.
You're sounding like you're speaking through like a tube, but
It's probably because of the size of room that I'm in. It's very compact.
Yeah, that could actually be good for recording sometimes.
get those little pads that you put on the wall.
Just get some memory foam.
I have not got those little pads I put in the wall.
Get a mattress.
Not got them.
Get some pillows. Get some blankets. Do something.
But just to finish my thought, what I was saying is, so for example, let's say communism. If you're playing as the United States, you can work with the unions. You can get Earl Browder as a revolutionary, and you could lead to, for example, desegregating the army, which is going to increase your recruitable population. I think that's what that one does.
Yeah, you can,
but that doesn't necessarily mean you turn communist.
Yeah, you don't have to do a hard line on everything.
And then
pretty cool.
You've got that ability to work with the trade unions, and they'll give you certain bonuses in the decision tab. But if you're doing that, you have to be communism, or else you're going to take stability hits.
Yeah.
So you need to balance: do I want to become communist, or do I want just these bonuses, and I'll figure out how to deal with the stability a different way?
And also with that, I remember if you, as UK, you start going communist, you have to completely decolonize within 2 years, or you suffer a civil war.
Yes. Oh, I haven't done it yet, but I can just see myself like, oh yeah, I'll do that, and then it's like, 3 months away. Oh no.
Oh wait, I forgot about that little island off the coast of Africa. I forgot to decolonize that.
The window is a little bit tight, especially if you're going to try to decolonize but have them remain in your faction.
Yes.
It's extremely tight.
Well, that actually does.
India in you if you go fascist too.
Right. That kind of goes back to what we were talking about, the sandbox nature, because the amount of different ways you can take these nations is completely different to any other DLC up until this point. The branches you go, even within a single tree, can send you in wildly different directions.
And I think that's mostly the result of the UK's tree, because you can have maybe I can go into detail about this yesterday, but we were chatting yesterday, Penkitten, about my crazy Netherlands game, and it really just got completely out of control because people were joining all sorts of factions based off of when the UK going fascist. So some people broke off, some stayed with them, and then you had all these former colonies that were just looking for a friend, so they were joining any faction they could.
Oh man. Oh, that sounds fun. That's something I like, because that's dynamic, and that is something that vanilla Hearts of Iron 4 has not been for a very long time, because you could always go random, but with random you can't really plan for things. But now that just sounds like it's a complete the house is on fire kind of situation that you get in Kaiserreich a lot.
Have you guys seen the thing of, speaking of house on fire, what you do if you delete the navies?
Delete the navies?
Oh.
What happened?
Okay, now don't make a video on this, because I just finished editing it. It's going up tomorrow. Well, I guess it'll be up now, I guess. So the London Naval Conference?
Yeah.
Yes. That you can invite new nations to the London Naval Conference if they have a certain percentage of fleet of the UK.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's a percentage.
Oh.
So just if you delete every major in the London Naval Conference, delete all their navies, the UK can suddenly ask every single country in the world, please stop building ships or I'll declare war on you. The world... I've never done an observation game, but it was messed up.
Someone
Denmark
called Drew
got
Darrell.
wrecked, Greece. Why would you resist England? Like, make me.
England prevails.
Yeah, I mean,
England did not prevail, oddly enough. Because they have no ships. Because I deleted them.
What if you only delete the capitals? Is it the number of ships in total, or number of capitals?
It's capital ships, but
Okay.
I couldn't be bothered to go through it all, so I just tell you the capitals. It still works.
Delete just the capitals, so they still have a navy, so they actually can fight everyone. Though somebody get Drew down.
The problem with that is they would just instantly destroy everybody, and it would just be like it'd be a normal game, but England would own Denmark and Greece and Argentina.
Beautiful. That is exactly the world I want.
So there are a lot. I agree with you. There are a lot of opportunities for this game for the game now to just completely go haywire and crazy things. Mexico had 3 civil wars in one game.
Yeah,
3.
I don't understand why that's possible.
because there's like a military general that can rise up. There's like a Christian faction that can rise up. There's like a communist
One
faction that
game,
can rise
though?
up. But I guess.
Well, Mexico was pretty wild. If you study the history
Yeah,
of
that's
the Mexican Revolution, it was absolutely a madhouse. So,
Yep.
and then they throw in that you could have Trotsky take hold because
Oh,
they
yeah.
just,
I
I guess,
love
they just
that.
want to have a super for fun kind of thing. Like,
Oh,
let's
yeah.
have
I
Frida
wanna
be a
play it.
minister or something while we're at it, right?
I want to play it so bad.
And yeah, so it's not the wildest thing I've ever seen for there to be a country with 3 civil wars. It actually is really reminiscent to me of Yugoslavia back when Death or Dishonor. It's sort of the wacky country.
Anything can happen.
All right, so let's see things we haven't touched on yet. Oh yeah, the Government-in-exile feature that has been added. I'm assuming no one here has lost a game while in a faction to actually be able to look at the Government-in-exile on all that in depth, right?
How kind of you to assume that we're all competent.
Well, except Doonhamer, but he can't talk back.
I'm not competent.
It hasn't happened to me yet, but I wanna play it because it looks very interesting.
Yeah,
I just am wondering though if it's worth it to. I haven't been an exiled government, but I've played as countries where I get the notification that I can support exiled governments, and I think it's a quarter of a political PowerPoint a day to just give them a tiny bit of legitimacy.
Oh, okay.
What the benefit on that is yet. It seems
they
rather
get more
expensive.
stuff.
Yeah,
basically,
they get
don't
like a higher percentage of manpower smuggled in if they have higher legitimacy. I'm not entirely sure, but I do remember back when Death and Dishonor came out, I played a game of Czechoslovakia, and I stood up to the Germans, and I beat the Germans, but then my Soviet border was exposed, and I got completely capitulated within like a month. And then I just had to sit there and wait and do nothing until my allies, the AI, came and rescued me. So the idea of actually giving you something to do if you get capitulated is something I approve of.
Yeah, I think it is meant for multiplayer games,
It really
especially.
is.
So I would agree.
Yeah, that's really where the idea went into that, is like we need to give the Government-in-exile something to do. Now, you played as the Netherlands. Is there anything in the Netherlands tree that is really only kicks in if you've capitulated?
I believe there is, because there's some achievements based around it. But one thing, I would say the Netherlands tree is the weakest.
Makes sense.
It seems to, but it might be because I didn't capitulate. But basically, once you're getting to 1940 and especially 1941, there's not really anything for you to do except busy work on your focus tree.
Yeah.
Most of the time, they're going to be gone by then.
Boring.
Well, yeah,
I haven't played them yet, but I'm looking forward.
that tree,
Less now.
From what I can tell, that tree is pretty much focused on, okay, you're going to be at war with Germany. Now, what are you going to do about it? And that's pretty much where it ends.
Probably the most interesting part of that is the mechanic of their trade with Germany, because either Germany or Britain can benefit from them, basically where they spend political power to invest in getting trade, and then they could potentially double it back.
Ooh. That's
like, I guess if you're doing it with AI, it's like gambling.
No, they've added pay to win DLC in Hearts of Iron 4. How dare they?
I thought that's what the spearhead mechanic was.
Did you play? No, that's true. Did you play that mod that actually added in loot boxes? That was really good.
I hadn't heard of that. No,
that sounds like a good joke.
You just pay. It's actually makes for really fun games, especially in multiplayer. You pay political power, and you get like random stuff. Like it's usually equipment, but like getting like 500 light tanks in 1936 is just like, oh, okay, thanks.
I win now.
All right. I'm not sure if we talked too much about how the navies operate now in the new DLC and free update. So, in your experiences, I'm cutting out?
Sorry, yeah.
A little bit.
Weird. Must be a Discord thing. Connection issue? Oh, yeah, I'm going way up and down when it comes to ping. I wonder what that's about.
Ooh, good old Discord, huh?
Yeah, last ping was...
I sometimes get that. I just move it to a backup TeamSpeak.
The ping seems to be okay. Let's check.
Yeah, you seem to be coming through all right now.
All right.
Yeah.
So then, how have your experiences been when it comes to actually getting into playing with the navies? How's it been feeling compared to how it was before?
I haven't really played with the Navy too much.
Okay, cool. Yeah, me neither. I'm guilty of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I tried playing as the Confederate States and died. I lost that, so
You gotta
not putting that up in the channel.
Yeah,
but then as the UK, I just done the same old with the Navy because I invaded India and Australia and New Zealand to get them monarchist. So I've done nothing new with it yet.
Okay. Not really fought into a major battle. Well, I know that I've only really played with the Navy when it comes to also the Confederate States, but there was a fairly sizable naval battles that have been going on just because I've pulled back all my Navy, and half of my Navy, I think even more than half of my Navy, went to the Constitutionalist side. So I've been fighting some of them, and I think that it feels better, but I can't really say too much on it just because of how little experience I've actually had. I do like the fact that you can't exactly just let your transports be destroyed without caring about them, because you get a temporary penalty to, I think, war support and or capitulation.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure if it's
I don't know about capitulation, but it's definitely war support, and I think that's a really great addition.
Yeah. You can't just sit there and let everything die.
Also, I think, I don't know the details of it, but I believe it's now if you're cut off by sea, you start taking supply penalties.
Good.
Which is something that's, I think, because like I don't know about you guys, but have you ever been in that situation? You cut off a section of an army, and they have a port, taking no penalties just because they have one little port open, even if you have a blockade off the coast.
Yeah.
Oh wait, so that actually that won't happen anymore? If you blockaded the port, it won't provide supply?
It seems to at least hinder it, because I admittedly ended up in that situation, and I immediately noticed that my fuel usage was starting to go through the roof.
That could just be because even though they had a port, they still had more supply than the state they're in could hold.
Possibly.
Yeah, that
still though.
Oh yeah, I need to test it more.
Yeah. This is the problem. We're talking about it, and it'll be out now when this goes up. But even though we got the code a few days ago, there's just not enough time to really get to grips with everything. So we want to say like, oh yeah, we know the DLC, but ultimately like we're still. I don't. You put anything up, you put anything on the anything new. Immediately, within a day, you'll get a comment like, did you know actually you could have done this and you would have done this completely because they spent 18 hours on it.
Yeah. I pretty much can guarantee you that when I declare well, actually, I don't even declare the war. When the Civil War in America breaks out, someone's probably going to comment, hey, you should probably bring out the Free Corps, because I didn't do that until the start of the next episode. So I'm guaranteeing somebody's going to say it.
Yep. We actually love all YouTube comments. Please comment.
Oh, yeah. The comments are great.
Yeah. Actually, you know what's great about those is, especially when I'm losing, and I always record in advance, at least a few episodes, so I know the comeback's coming. I just drink it in, because those people, they always disappear when the comeback happens.
Where are you now, Hoyslayer 74? Huh? No, I'm great.
I see. All right.
All right. Well,
Legend of Paradox.
Go on their account, find their videos, and comment on.
So did you not see? Did you not check your subscription box? You're subscribed, right?
all right.
Send them a letter.
And he had like a hard copy letter. Find their address.
Call their moms. Let them know their children are leaving mean comments.
Yeah.
Call their schools. They're cyberbullying me. All right. So
before we forget, though, we haven't really. You said that you had been doing a Confederate game, right, Penkitten?
Yes, I have.
Because I haven't tried the Civil War ones yet. I've been trying to test Peacetime USA to see if it's less boring.
Well, I mean, I guess the Congress gives some busy work to do during peacetime, but during the Civil War, one thing I noticed is this is specifically the Confederate Civil War. While going towards it, the event that fired it just kind of came out of nowhere. It was called the Boston Uprising. I think it might have to do with like a certain percentage of your nation becomes fascist, because you go down that path by taking what's called the ally with the silver shirts. And then from there, you can get different options, like go get aid from the fascist countries like Germany and Italy, organize the Free Corps. So when the war does come, you can raise them, and it raises like 20 troops of a single regiment each. But hey, it's something. And because most of your army, like 70% of the army went to the other side, and I'm left with the minority because I think the minority was still fascist. So I ended up with the minority of troops, including the minority of my tank divisions that I had so graciously built for them. And then from that, it just kind of came out of nowhere. There wasn't like first off, there's no decision of which side you take. Once you start going down that path, you have railroaded yourself into being the Confederates, or at least the South. You can't pull a sneaky one on them and actually join the Constitutionalists and beat up your own faction that you've caused, unlike in, say, Kaiserreich. But it is still pretty good. It gives you it kind of does make sense of how it goes, because strangely enough, you don't actually immediately become the fascist government, even if you have like a massive majority of fascists in the new Confederate states. You start off with Alf Landon as president, because technically you are the loyalists. You are the people who are loyal to the president. And then in my game, American Caesar himself came down from the heavens and took over control. Yeah, Douglas MacArthur, he has taken over, and he will, which I wish I could say up with the stars, but our flag is now a crown. I don't think they have stars, but still down with the traitors.
Kaiserreich, is that you?
It's different. Yeah, they have to kind of your eyes and tilt your head to see, is this Kaiserreich?
Is this Kaiserreich? The loyalist color is like this ugly gray that I don't like, but I suppose it makes sense. Bad. Yeah, but I suppose it makes sense because in the U.S. Civil War, the Confederate soldiers wore gray, but it does look bland. I definitely dislike it.
Yeah. I actually sucked when it came to that Civil War.
Oh god!
I didn't do the Free Corps. I didn't do that focus, so I had 11 divisions, and most of them were in like Hawaii and on the wee islands. It's like great. So I lost in like 5 days. Really,
that's rough. But I Peacetime USA.
That's good, because that's a big problem with the USA. Again. Just sheer boredom when you're at peace.
Yeah, it was kind of entertaining for me, but I think that I wonder if part of that is just because it was the first time I'd done it, but also is there replayability to that? And I think it's actually really easy to get an overwhelming majority in the Congress. Like, yeah, you have to spend a little bit of political power, but eventually you're not even paying attention to it anymore. At least I wasn't.
Yeah, I think I'm going to chime in again. The train just went by. I do agree. the Congress system, it fluctuates so much just back and forth, and it did not really seem all that difficult to get a supermajority inside of both houses of Congress, which seems a little silly, especially if you know anything about American politics. We got a lot of hardliners who will never work with the opposition at any given point, regardless of how much money you throw at them, because they really hate each other. And I don't necessarily know the situation back in World War II, but I have a feeling it was, at least to some extent, a little bit like that. So I maybe
politics was just nicer.
Maybe wartime politics. I mean, they did elect the same guy 4 times. Meanwhile,
Huey Long's corpse is spinning,
spinning in his grave. If only. If they really want to get right, if they really got. What about Halloween 2019? They bring back the zombie Huey Long to lead the Confederacy.
Every man a king, and a brains for all.
Every man a king, but no one wears brains. Maybe they could tone down like the frequency of opposition or support events, but I suppose it does give you something to do and just political points to throw at during the peacetime.
So say how great it is. Someone could say "every man a king," and everyone would be like, I know this.
Every man.
That's Hearts of Iron for you, isn't it?
Every man a king. Good times, simpler times. So does anyone have any other feature from either the free DLC or the Man the Guns that you would like to talk about?
Anyone used mines?
I have
dude, I was just opening my mouth to say that. That's cool. That's fine. I've died to mines. Does that count?
Yeah, you gotta get those minesweepers.
Yeah.
I got the only interaction I've had with mines is when I was going after Japan. I made sure my destroyers had minesweepers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is something that, again, it's early access. We've only had so much time as of this recording to check it out. I really had an easy time with Japan's Navy. Trouble at all. And I'm not a good Navy kind of guy. So I have a slight worry that this might be like when the last Stellaris update happened, where the AI didn't know how to use any of the new things, so they would just sit.
Yeah.
Great, I'm hoping it's not a case where the Japanese AI had no idea what it was doing.
I think it's probably.
They would only throw in like, I'd have a doom stack, and they just send 13 destroyers at it, and that's all.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's going to be a while to figure out like the full situation. It's going to, as soon as people start getting in their hands, then it's going to be, it goes from a few, probably 100 players and streamers to, thousands that are going to be testing it out. And we'll be able to see the breadth of whether or not there's still a problem there when that comes out. And also Paradox will be able to, because they're a team of 12 people and they're about to get a beta test of a lot of data.
I find sometimes, though, that DLC, I'm sometimes wrong about DLC. You mentioned at the start, DLC value. Like, I'll be like, I'll play in early access, I'll get the DLC, and I'll be like, oh man, I like this. This is fun. I think this is a A-OK DLC. It'll come out, and the overwhelming opinion will be, this is garbage. I don't know, I shouldn't have to pay $15 pounds for this. This is crap. And it's because, as annoying as it is, we're in a position where we don't pay for it, and thus I think our opinion starts to get clouded. We probably we omit some of the negatives because we're like happy to be doing this. You know what I mean?
I mean, we've definitely been bringing up plenty of negatives so far.
That's true. This is crap. It's a crap DLC. Don't get
it. Yeah, that's why it has to come up on the 28th, so we can have full freedom to say our true impressions.
Yeah.
So far,
the Doonhamer, were you trying to say something?
He's reaching out to us through the veil.
Put your ear against the window. You might be able to hear it.
If we say Doonhamer 3 times into a mirror, perhaps he'll appear to us.
But doesn't the monster then kill you when you do that?
Yeah. I mean, apparently he's not good enough to win a civil war.
He heard that. Oh no, the threat.
Yes.
I just realized your name is Doonhamer. Your name is Doon.
It's actually Doonhamer.
Doonhamer.
Oh, it's Doonhamer. Oh my god, double. What? You're totally right. It is Doonhamer. That's a.
I'm going to keep calling him Doonhamer. Going to keep doing it.
It's someone who comes from Dumfries, according to Google. Oh, there you go. So did you just like call yourself the equivalent of Geordie? But
not really. Different, I guess.
We're getting back to value.
Yeah,
Getting back
value
to
propositions for this DLC.
yes, please.
I guess what everybody has to ask themselves is this worth twice as much as Death or Dishonor?
Yes, that's
Or is this worth equal amount to Waking the Tiger?
Is Waking the Tiger $19.99 dollar pounds?
It is. I know.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
and I
There
think
is
it's very
not that
overpriced.
much in,
I know.
There's not really anything in Waking the Tiger.
I know, and for the fact that they have put it out for the same price, let me make absolutely sure, because I've written this down already.
I'm checking now. He's right.
Me too. Everyone
And
frantically Google.
They got Germany. That's, I guess, enough. Germany.
Everybody just
Hey
wants.
kids, do you want to not play as Hitler?
You want to be a slightly better guy?
Yeah.
I do like going the alt path in Germany though. It's fun.
Everybody goes for the Chad Kaiser instead of the Virgin democracy.
Man, can you imagine if there was like a version where he was just already in charge, so you didn't have to do a civil war or anything?
Man,
someone should make a mod.
If only he had like won World War I or something, so he's still in charge. If only.
Yeah, if only. Hey, speaking of the new Kaiserreich update.
Oh yeah.
They're just, how many people are they going to bring back from the dead for this? For God's sake! I mean, it seems like almost every alt history character is like, in real life they died, but in Kaiserreich they didn't for some reason.
More importantly, how many hats do they have to kill?
Too.
Like the Mexico
Ho
dude.
Chi Minh's dead, and
That's true. Yeah, but there's usually reasons for it. One of them, there's a president. One of the guys who can be president in the U.S. He in real life he died of lung cancer. This one is just like, he's fine now, no lung cancer.
Yeah,
Okay.
lung cancer didn't exist anyway. Controversial opinions from Kaiserreich team. All right, back on to value proposition. So the fact that they put this out for the same price that they had valued Waking the Tiger either shows that they were way overvaluing themselves before, or they are becoming much more close to a true value proposition now than they were in the past. Because I would say that all the DLC for Hearts of Iron 4 so far have been underwhelming and overpriced. They are kind of the definition of buy on sale DLC. But for me, so far, Man the Guns seems to be the kind of DLC that I would, back when I would be playing these games, that I would want to buy just at full price if necessary to get my hands on it. This is something that excites me. It fixes a lot of the problems potentially, because we don't know too much. Our sample size is very small, that have been plaguing the game for its entire duration. That numerous naval problems. It feels better. Oh God, what was that?
I think that was on my end.
Okay,
A lot of people scream up my street.
I love being in the back of a house where I live. It's really nice. No noise. Except for the birds in the morning. Can't do it. And you can't record in the morning.
Yeah. So personally,
Nature.
so personally for me, I would say that Man the Guns is probably worth the price. Whether or not it was worth an entire year to get us here, I'm not sure. But it looks
really long time.
Yeah. It's the longest DLC, literally a year in production. And at one point, I'm glad that they took their time, that they didn't feel rushed to put out an inferior product that would have been even buggier than what we're probably going to get. Because I've already found one typo, which I wish I took a screenshot, because then I could post it to Reddit and get a bunch of karma, because I could say it's literally unplayable. But I found one karma. They spelled debate or something. Or debate.
Oh my God.
No, I think they spelled
that might be the kind of stuff that gets fixed.
Yeah.
For example, have you guys noticed how all the ships?
Yes.
Yes.
In a fleet, I don't think it should be that way. Once I can understand you research a hull, but you deploy a destroyer.
Okay.
They're called,
crazy. Is this the thing only I give a fuck about? Sorry.
wait,
Chris.
sorry.
What
Are they
happens?
called? What do you mean?
Like in
called, for example, light ship hull, heavy ship hull. They're not called
Right.
name.
Do you mean the ships are referred to as hulls, or do you mean the individual hulls are light ship hull, heavy ship hull, and they fit onto a destroyer?
Hulls are called that, and that's what I think they should be when you're researching them.
Yeah.
But then you deploy them, and it'll say something like the USS Saratoga heavy ship hull.
I guess it's to let you know what type of hull you've given it, so that because the hull categorized. No, wait.
You can change the class name when you are building the design. Because what I would, or do you mean like underneath it? It explains what the hull is. I think I know what you're talking about. I think like you'll see the name of the ship, and it'll be the name on top, and then it'll give the hull name. I think I get what you mean. Like they should be explaining what type of ship it is instead of the hull that it is when it's in the fleet on the map. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. Okay. That is, that's probably something that they might fix in time, because I get what they're talking about. They are trying to say, hey, it's this ship layout, so that if you need to refit it, you'll refit it with the other ship layouts that match this. But yeah, it does look a little bit silly to have a fleet of early heavy ship hull instead of it saying battleship or saying battle cruiser.
Unplayable.
Literally unplayable.
Let's get on to Podcat. Let's hate him. Let's hate tweet him.
Yeah. Well, that aside, I would definitely say this for me. Even if I didn't have early access, I would say this is worth it. For at least 3 of these 4 trees, there's plenty of replayability, which is something I really look for in a tree.
Yeah.
Even for just the UK one alone, if you're somebody who likes it to get sandboxy.
Yeah.
I'd say Mexico is my favorite to play right now.
Not really, because of all the Civil Wars.
So many.
Yeah, well, the Civil Wars, but also I like how you can mix and match some of the policies.
That's true.
Policy stuff, but
it's not divergent, I think is the word I'm going for, where you have to pick one path and you only stick to that path.
Yeah, exactly.
You can stick your finger in the communism pie.
And so I would say Mexico's my favorite to play right now. It is the most important for increasing
diversity of play
in the game.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I think this might. It really depends on how the general community talks about the ships and the Navy once they get their hands on it. But I think this might be kind of, for Hearts of Iron 4, the first must-get DLC, because I play a lot of EU4 in my personal time, and it has its own must-play DLC. It's got, Common Sense, it's got Art of War, it's got these big DLC that adds tons of features that revamps the game, makes it a lot more fun to play than what it was. And I think they finally kind of hit their stride with this one.
Shipping route controls. Shipping route controls too.
Yeah.
That's very key. I think for me anyway. That's so key.
That's the one. That's that little quality of life thing that you want to get out of. Yeah, they always throw in that little quality of life that you have to buy. They always dangle it in front of your face.
Paradox.
They'll never change. But so long as they're making good games, and actually. Depends on whether or not we can get Doonhamer to get his opinion in, if we can hear him. I'm listening in. Spirits, speak to us.
Was that the Doonhamer?
Maybe. Yeah. He's in here somewhere. We just gotta get him out.
Having some audio problem.
Don't worry, Doon. We love you. We love you.
Yeah, just like your stuff, by the way. Great Transimer campaign.
Sorry,
man. I was saying, I also like your stuff, by the way. I saw your Transimer campaign. Good stuff.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Oh well, you actually did feature in one of my other playthroughs, actually, because I used your tutorial, Lawrence of Arabia, to take over the UK. I was playing your video. When I was recording, there was a little gap. I was just making sure I'd done everything right. So you kind of featured in one of my videos, so you should be fine.
Oh, wow.
He's cheating. He's cheating.
He's cheating.
Copyright strike him. Do it.
Take him down.
No.
No. No, I think the DLC is good. For being like the first DLC that I've had a press kind of review copy of as well, it's been nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's a like a what's it? Kind of breath of fresh air to the game, I guess, if you want to phrase it like that.
Yeah. Good way to put
I
it.
don't know about you guys, but I've not played a lot of vanilla in ages.
Oh, no.
Just
Not for a while, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much just achievement hunt if I'm doing vanilla.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I got a little sick of Hoy. Everyone I found I was playing with was playing Hoy, and people on my channel kept wanting Hoy. If I put up a Hoy video, it would do like 4 times better than another video. And so I felt like I needed to put Hoy up. After a while, I was just like, I'm done.
Yeah,
you know that feeling.
Yeah, you gotta take some time.
Yeah, let's be honest, every Paradox YouTuber ever feels this way at some point. They play one game so often.
So.
Well, I think every YouTuber really.
I don't know. I mean, Northern Lion's been doing Binding Isaac for how long?
Northern Lion's a special creature.
Yeah,
he doesn't count. He's not. Yeah, can't count him.
How many mini a true nerd where he has so much diversity that where people just watch whatever I play.
Same. Yeah. I'm kind of trying to segue into that because I've just stopped doing Let's Plays, and I'm trying to do edited videos just as a 6 months trial.
Oh, nice.
But also just to try editing. I'd like it if I could get to a point where it's the editing and not the game, so that I can just play what I want to play.
Yeah. I stopped in for your stream when you were talking about the potential of someone switching to a variety stream, and how you have to have a big.
Sorry, you cut out there. I missed that last part. I missed the potential of.
Test. Okay. Hello. Okay, I'm getting the green again. Yeah, I stopped in your stream with the potential of someone becoming a variety.
It was in the same spot. The potential of
becoming a variety.
I didn't hear anything else. Oh yes, the variety streamer. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. That was a really good adventure, man. That was great.
Segue time. Speaking of variety of content and a variety of games, there's other news from Paradox in recent months, and one of the biggest is going to be Imperator Rome, which recently got its release date, coming for April 25th of this year for £40. Imperator Rome is the newest grand strategy game from Paradox Interactive. It is currently being headed by Johan Andersson, the previous head of development for EU4, and this game is either the sequel or more of a spiritual successor to the 2008 Paradox game Europa Universalis Rome. From what I can tell, the game will begin after the death of Alexander the Great in the Wars of the Diadochi, and will go up until the point at which Augustus crowned himself the first emperor of Rome, making the game's time span about 300 years, covering the rise of the Roman Republic. The playable map goes from Spain in the west to India in the east, and from the southern tip of Sweden in the north to the lands of Somalia in the south. So, has anyone been following the development of this game?
Yeah, a bit. But, less closely when I realized that they were starting to go a bit off the rails in terms of historical accuracy, which is not a deal breaker for me.
Historical accuracy in what ways? Because I don't know if I've been hearing about that.
For example, I believe last I checked, they were just going to have one console.
One console of Rome.
There's some rage about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds annoying because obviously there's the two consoles of Rome. That is pretty important too, especially the Punic Wars, as there was a bunch of conflict between the two consuls. Yeah, that would be the consuls of the Roman Senate. For anyone who doesn't know Roman history, the basically dual presidents of the Senate. Yeah, I hadn't heard about that. I suppose it does make it easier to do the game because it's easier if it's kind of a blending of CK2's single character gameplay, where you play as a single character, and EU4 is playing as a country. It's kind of a melding of that. So from that perspective, I can understand why they would want the country to be run by a single figurehead. But yeah, I can definitely understand the historical reason why you would want to have the dual leaders and their struggle between them.
Yeah, no, I was looking forward more to the CK2 aspect of it because I don't know if you guys have played Rome, but I did like that there was individuals that you could. It wasn't the full CK2 experience, but it was a nice middle ground.
Never played it.
I don't even know what that is.
You can probably get it cheap. It's probably like $4 or something by now.
It's one of those games I keep needing to kind of pick up and try. Because, like, especially, I feel like I should play it before I play Imperator just to have a point of comparison.
Yeah. Just don't play Total War Rome 2. Just stay away from that one.
Hey, man, it's way better than it was on release. On release, it was kind of like a flaming pile of garbage. Now it's kind of like in The Simpsons, where the flaming pile of garbage is like a landmark of the town. It's still a bit rough around the edges, but you go there for the garbage.
All right.
I play it.
So, yeah. Do you know if there's any other like major issues that the community has been having with...
Cut out, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Do you know if there's been any other issues that the community in general has been having with Imperator Rome? Because I covered a very flame war type Reddit post about really saying nothing, just saying that they should boycott the game just because, not for anything the game is actually doing, but just because the person who made the post didn't like the games industry as a whole. And I thought that was a bit hyperbolic. But do you guys know of any like real complaints? Because you've already told me about the console issue.
Well, and like some of this stuff is things that like I'm not saying I'm not going to play this because in fact they've already contacted me about it.
Oh, cool.
So I'm gonna try it out. But it's some things that I look at it and I go, man, this seems like simpler stuff. Why haven't they fixed that yet? Like map inaccuracies. Fix some of those things.
There has been quite a few of that, and they've not really been just dealing with it, have they? They've not really been like, oh, you know what, we'll fix that. It's just kind of like, right? I
mean,
I need to speak to someone about it, actually.
Can it be a Paradox game without that map being completely wrong?
That's something wrong with that.
Yeah, in my area, I live in the northwest corner of Washington, and over in that region, kind of on the Hoi 4 map, they have on the other side in Canada, they have Vancouver, but they put the dot for Vancouver up in the mountains when it is a coastal city. So I've always found that kind of funny.
Burn it down. Inexcusable.
Or they put like Victoria, which is the capital of British Columbia, they put that like in the middle of Vancouver Island instead of right at the tip.
There's some things wrong with where I live in southeast of England. There's a couple kind of weird, like just like the shaping and the locations of certain things, and it's like this is wrong. And it makes you feel really uncomfortable, even though it doesn't matter. Like you're landing on it, and you're like, "This is wrong.
This is wrong."
Oh,
oh no! Here he's coming again.
What?
Train.
He's coming back. Oh lordy, here he comes. Doonhamer's dead. Penkitten's dead. How you doing, Conquering History Games?
Wait, what's up?
Everyone died.
Yeah, I'm doing just fine.
Oh no, dude's back. Hey, what's up, man? Oh, it's the train. That's what it is. The train has come for Penkitten.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. Who did you speak to about Imperator, by the way? I need to email someone about that.
I don't know if I should say it on the
yeah, message me.
Stream, but
here's their email address and their first and last name.
Bank account numbers. Whatever's the Sweden. I guess they wouldn't be social security numbers in Sweden or whatever they call it. Whatever's their version.
I mean, one of the PR people's American. He has a social security number.
Okay.
Two of them, actually.
So, all right, so I'll try to find his info for you.
Yeah, great, thank you.
Just Penkitten still waiting on that train. Yeah, Aldrahill, actually, you're the only one here. I don't know their channel. Heard Penkitten because he has this amazing voice for radio, as everybody who's listening to this has heard. I don't think I know your stuff.
I'll link you, buddy. Just spam it. There you go.
Okay, thanks. I'll try to check you out sometime.
Thanks, man.
Oh, geez. Sorry. Well, then, is there anything else we were going to want to go over?
Oh no, we got to be the voice of this. Penkitten's dead.
Okay. Favorite new focus tree?
UK.
Yes, UK.
Give us more. You're in charge now. Come on.
I am in charge. Great. So I'll just keep cutting. I'll be cutting out a couple of
favorite
things as
path
well.
of the UK.
Going marrying Simpson.
I said like that is the path. Just nothing else matters.
Yeah, there's no other
Well,
path.
I didn't even consider the other parts of that tree. I just went straight for the King's party.
Oh yeah. Oswald Mosley, Winston Churchill, together at last.
Oh God,
Not Mosley. Can't forget Lloyd George as well.
How dare you? Kaiserreich caboose? Something. Whatever they are, they're not happy.
Well, I'm really looking forward to seeing how some of my favorite mods integrate some of the new mechanics, especially the congressional one.
Yes, definitely.
Interesting.
I think it's going to make a lot of changes because there's a lot of countries that they could do things with. And it's made it quite modular, apparently.
Yeah. Then going for any achievements?
You know, I always want to go for achievements. It's always like I'm going to be an achievement hunter, and because it used to be when I made a new series, I want to make a new series because a new DLC. I'd like, cool, what are the achievements, and use that as a good guide. And I don't know, none of them just jump out at me. What do you think?
Let's see. There was one that I saw. It has nothing to do with any of the new trees.
There you
go. Oh, cool. Yeah, I was just about to pull that up. Thanks.
Got you.
But it's like, as Poland, you got to kill 2 million Germans or something.
Oh, yeah? Let me see.
1.8 million Germans, and you have to start in 1939.
That is actually pretty cool. Oh, and you have to do it. Oh, bragging rights if you do it in 30 minutes or less. All right.
Yeah, they probably won't lock the achievement behind that because people have different PCs.
Was that the PDXCon Hoi 4 challenge? I don't remember that.
I don't know. I've never heard of that, but that's an awful lot. I wonder if, I wonder how that was done. If they just,
they must have. They did have computers. I didn't play it. It must have been the challenge. Oh, that's cool. I think I probably would have got a little bit wrecked. Yeah. I kind of want to try that.
How does PDXCon work, by the way? Do you get invited and like they fly you out or what?
So they did the first. So I've been to 2. Because like the one, not the last one, but the one before that was like the first time it was like a big PDXCon. Before it was just like a meetup, and they actually did fly me out, which was really surprising because I'm not exactly a big YouTuber. However, I did work as a journalist for a game website, so I think it was probably more for that.
Oh.
But I don't anymore. So the second time they did not fly me out, and they flew only a few people out, but they still gave me media tickets. So.
Right.
So you just have to ask.
Yeah, I guess I'll do that.
I'll give you an email, someone to speak to. It's a lot of fun. PDXCon.
How if I went to PDXCon, that means my face would be revealed.
Oh no.
Oh, that's do what Cohen did.
What did he do? I don't even know who that is.
Let me see.
Oh wait, the red and white Viking face, right?
Yeah.
What did he do? Did he wear a mask?
A little bit worse than that, my friend. 1 second, I got it. There you go.
Oh God.
I'm not even kidding.
Oh no.
I am not kidding.
I might need to do that just to survive in Sweden.
Like,
okay.
I don't understand. And now he has done a face reveal. Whenever someone doesn't do a face reveal, I kind of assume they're like really either really strange looking or like gorgeous.
Well,
like I just too gorgeous.
I want you to appreciate me for me.
Yeah. Voice. Actually, I technically have done a face reveal. Oh God, you're still here.
That was so loud. That was great.
He's still here.
You know, it's funny. I remember growing up, I lived right next to a train track, and it was so funny whenever people would come over, because there'd always inevitably be a part of the day where they just go, "What the fuck is that?" And you don't even notice it anymore.
Yeah.
They're talking about while there's a train screaming by the window.
That's great.
Like, what the fuck is what? Oh, the train, right? Yeah, you just been around for a while.
So we
no, it feels oddly fitting.
Yeah.
It's a classic train. It's not even like a rumble. If it's like a rumble, it's kind of annoying. But the actual horn, that's cool.
Yeah, because I'm right next to the crossing of the track. It's like, I don't know, I don't know, 30 yards away maybe from the window.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's very close.
There's a high speed line where I live, and it's at the other end of town, so it doesn't affect me. But if you're walking by the train as it goes past, and it goes, I don't know how fast, 150 miles an hour, and it's just like, windows shake and everything. You just really have to hold on to something. Thank God I don't live there.
All right, so are we even on topic anymore for anything?
I was wondering if you want to wrap it up.
Okay. Yeah.
There's no one. We fell apart.
Without me to guide you. I was making a sandwich for my grandma.
You were making a sandwich.
She needs her sandwich. It's lunchtime.
Yeah, so then should we wrap it up? Because actually I'm going to go eat some lunch.
Yeah, that's fine. All right. Well, we at the very least, we got through all of the comments we had on Man the Guns. That's what we really needed to do. So thank you all for joining me. It was a pleasure talking to you all. Thank you, Doonhamer, for being with us in spirit and listening to us through all this. You guys want to say where people can find you?
I'm on YouTube. I guess if you're watching this on my channel, then you're there. I guess we'll link each other's stuff in the description.
Yeah, it makes sense. I might put like a comment in it as well in mine.
Yeah,
so.
Be easier. I never open descriptions. I'm really bad at that.
Not usually a reason to. I put a lot of like.
Don't tell him that.
I put a lot of links to like games I'm playing or mods I'm playing or links to all the things that I'm attached to, my Discord, my Twitter, things I don't really check a lot. But yeah, it was a pleasure to have you all.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah. We could do it again some other time, but there's not a whole lot to talk about when it comes to Hearts of Iron 4. It feels like we're going to have another drought of content for a while.
Well,
pleasure.
If anyone wants to go check that out, then.
Bye-bye.
Bye.